The bridge, Bob. The plot is thickening on the bridge. I want to start with Marco's adventures. He's got a problem in that the complaint against him for letting the Millwrights ambulance through is getting him flack from the Mexican Attorney General. And, of course, Sonia is unsympathetic.
Yeah.
And Marco, Marco gives this foreboding, hey, they had nothing to do with it. But do you still think they had nothing to do with it, Bob? The ambulance people?
I still think they had nothing to do with the immediacy of whether or not they should have been let through. I think they're tangentially related, but whether or not they stayed in that moment and the guy who was having the heart attack a few episodes ago died there versus dying after having a fighting chance in the hospital. My point is, they have something to do with this plot line, but does it make a difference, though, other than just it's suspicious?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, Sonia, she's very unsympathetic about this. She thinks that this complaint should go forward. But I'm with you. I think Marco did the right thing based on what he knew at the time. And if Sonia ends up being right about this one, I'll be annoyed because it wasn't like she was this wise person with this investigative foresight. She's just a rules hardliner who may have happened to have gotten lucky and been right on this one. I'm fine if Sonia has some amazing Sherlock Holmes-like powers that we don't fully understand. But this wasn't that. This was just, looking like she'll take credit for something that she got lucky about.
Like Monk meets SVU or something.
And the show's doing this a little bit. More than just this, though. The flowers was another good example. Marco's just trying to be a decent human being. He says, hey, it's from both of us. And she's like, what? Why did you say that? And he can't get a break from her. It's like, whoa, there's no big deal about that. And I keep hoping we're going to see his style of just being a decent human being on some of these issues win out on something, but no, he can't catch a break.
Right, and just when we want to side with him completely and feel like Sonia's the dick here and Marco's like the pushover nice guy that doesn't get a break, he has to go and have sex with, another key character that's going to be part of this story, and it felt almost rushed or out of context for me. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I agree with that. Marco and Charlotte Millwright, OMG. It did seem like they just were too willing to jump each other's bones. Blah, blah. And so what are we to make of that? So is he just really into Charlotte? I don't know. That he's someone who sleeps around a lot? That's a possibility. I mean, because he's that smooth-talking kind of guy. His wife is awfully nervous all the time, so he could have a history of affairs. Maybe he's just having a rough day and he's not at his best, because he was having a pretty rough day. I'm not quite sure what to make of it yet, but it was at the end of the episode. Maybe we'll learn more about what's behind it.
I thought it was interesting how they decided to ride that line of having first shown him with Sonia and not being interested in her physically, and then also having been shown with, because she's very attractive, and then also having been shown with prostitutes and holding his own and giving flack to other human beings who can't deal with that kind of temptation. And then they show him in his own tempted state, and it seems like what they're trying to portray is that there's way more to the attraction for Marco than just the raw physicality of it. Like, the whole package of who he fell for, it's not that she's ugly. She's attractive enough, even if not as attractive as others, or it's not as impulsive as prostitutes. It was like the perfect mix of I'm lonely, I need someone to talk to, we see things the same way, we respect each other, we've already built up a rapport, let's do this, let's get it on, which in a way is dare I say, it's almost like it's
almost a feminist statement.
Yeah.
Attraction is based on more than how you look in a bikini.
Right, yeah, and it's almost to his credit more than to his downfall as a likable character, which is I still have mixed feelings about it. I'm not saying that.
Well, he is cheating on his pregnant wife, which doesn't do great things for his likability.
Right, and I'm totally on board with that being an issue. I'm just saying, of all the ways to cheat on his pregnant wife, this is surprisingly the best one, even if there's not that much difference in that scale. But anyway.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Let's get to the main investigation. So they hauled that creepy Stephen Linder in for questioning this time. Now, he seems a little dodgy.
Yeah.
But is it too obvious for him to be the guy? I mean, this is only the third episode after all, but he does seem sort of skeevy.
Right, and his trailer is just up the hillside from where all these murders happened. That would be a huge coincidence. He has we still don't know what happened to the woman he was holding pseudo hostage, like she was voluntarily coming at first, but then forced in the end in previous episodes, being stuck in his trailer, and then we find out that he's burned women's clothes, theoretically this woman's body in trash bags. But that's unrelated or related? Yeah, it seems like too easy, like there's a bigger thing at play and he's not the main attraction, but he's still pretty creepy and has to answer to a lot of things.
Yeah. So, do you think we've met the big bad guy yet?
Ooh, that is a great question.
So let's just say we have. Let's pretend we have.
Okay.
Who do you think it might be in that case? So we got Linder. We got Linder here. Since I may have sprung this on you, let me talk through some of the candidates. So we got Linder, and he's maybe the best prospect, the best bait and switch prospect because he's that weird guy. Could it be bar pickup dude?
That would be like a Scooby-Doo thing. That would be too much.
The sheriff's deputy that Hank has Cooper follow, who's always there at the weird times. They give some little hint about that. Maybe Lyle Lovett as the attorney.
Oh, all these are possibilities.
I'm stumped. I'm stumped though.
Yeah, and is that what this show is trying to do? Is like be a Scooby-Doo murder mystery for grown-ups? Because I can play that game and it seems fun on the one hand, but on the other hand, I'm kind of hoping we haven't met him. Because I think that would be more intriguing than like, you wouldn't have thought it was this guy that we showed you 5 minutes of screen time only for the first 5 episodes. I don't know.
Well, I feel like that's pretty classic, murder mystery form, even if it's a novel or a TV show or a movie or whatever. It's someone you meet, but you have no reason to think it's that person.
Yeah.
So who knows? I just was wondering.
Well, and we do need to point out that last week we thought that the major crimes that were happening were unconnected, but now they appear to be connected. So this guy is a bit of a mastermind, and in more ways than one. I don't know if it's probably too premature to call this the Hollywood effect, but the fact that all the people that died at that shrine didn't die, and one of them survived, and then he went and picked her up, and now he's going to have some new game to play as if it was all pre-planned, and it's making a huge statement. It seemed like the show can't have it both ways. It can't be perfectly situated to where only one person survives to fulfill this villain's master plan when that was contingent upon so much randomness. I don't know. I'm on the verge of being slightly annoyed, but I'm not there yet because I'm hoping that the show doesn't go too far with that perfect premise.
I didn't think of that. That is sort of an awfully convenient thing that someone survived and he knew just what to do with that person.
Right, and it's like phase 3 of his master plan. Like, really? Okay.
Maybe as a pick a path manual, he would have done something else in a different situation.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. How are you liking the reporters that are spending time in Mexico? Daniel Fry and Adriana.
I like this duo. Well, I like them as a duo. I don't think, Daniel is meant to be an unlikable character, and Adriana is meant to be a likable character. And there's some serious contrast in their ways of approaching life. But they both hold their own, like in different ways. Like they're both not perfect or perfectly bad either. So I like the play off the banter between them, I guess is what I want to say. You?
Yeah, I think I want to see more, but I like the groundwork they're laying. I mean, I think Fry's seeming like more of a jagoff the more we see.
Yeah.
And Adriana told us she was a lesbian, right?
That's what I got too.
So they're probably not destined to hook up or anything.
Doesn't like boys. And that's what made it so that she didn't get pregnant and have lots of kids. Yeah. No Mexican stereotypes there.
But so they probably won't hook up, and I'm not sure exactly where they're going to go. But I like their chemistry pretty well so far.
Right. Not everything needs to be a romance, so I'm glad. That's good.
I can't believe we got this far, Bob, without mentioning dialectics, Bob. Dialectics.
Yeah, that's right.
In case you hadn't noticed somehow, the show's about polls. Rich, poor, legal, illegal.
I'm with what's his name, Ted Levine's character. Like, I looked it up and I still don't know what it means. Like, what does this have to do with anything?
Yeah, I don't know what that added, except for a chance to have Sonya, Diane Kruger say, "It's polls, legal, illegal, rich, poor." So anyway, do you think Charlotte deserved having her husband's horse strung up like that, Bob?
No, not at all. And I think we've. Oh, and that could be the villain right there too, right? Maybe.
Charlotte or that
No,
weird woman she
the
talked to
weird the weird
first?
woman. Does the weird woman not have a name yet? I don't think she does.
Maybe I didn't get it scribbled down, so I don't know.
Um, yeah, there's some weird stuff going on there, Godfather-like, and wow. I don't know how the weird woman ties into everything and what the connection of the tunnel to the mastermind villain is. Like, I feel like we're on the verge of, like, we just need, like, there's one puzzle piece that as soon as we get it, we'll get like three sides of three different stories that all make more sense. Because I'm still patient enough to wait for the payoff here, but too many more episodes of not giving us more. It's gonna start driving me crazy.
I agree. I'm hoping to see a little bit more, and soon too. So the last thing I wanted to mention was I just thought it was amusing when bar pickup dude shows up at the police station, and we got a good unfiltered Sonya line. "What are you doing here? I can't have sex here."
I can't have sex at work.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to be a relationship, not just a little one-night stand?
I hope it is in some ways. I think it's kind of quirky and fun. Like, it's so raw and honest in some ways that it's portraying something that you don't normally get to see in a relationship. They could be perfect for each other for all we know. And they would have only known that because of the way they both are totally comfortable with being forthright, I guess, in their respective ways.
I guess so. So yeah, that's the third episode of The Bridge.
Yeah, keep watching. We're going to keep reviewing. I think this was a little bit of a placeholder episode. It was not tons happened, but I'm still excited. So there you go.
Right on.